Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today not as someone who had it easy, but as someone who refused to give up, somebody who heard all the reasons why I couldn't succeed, somebody who was labeled educably mentally retarded, and still stood up to say, I am not what you call me, I am what I choose to become. You see, life is not a straight line, it's not a smooth road. Life is messy, painful, and unpredictable, but it's also beautiful, because every time you fall down, you get a chance to rise up stronger. You get a chance to prove that defeat is not your destiny. Now let me tell you something. You're going to fail. Yes, I said it. You are going to fall flat on your face. People will laugh. People will walk away. People will doubt you, betray you, misunderstand you, and you will ask yourself, why am I even doing this? And in that moment, that very moment, I want you to remember something. You were born with a purpose. You were born with greatness within you, and greatness, ladies and gentlemen, is forged in fire. It's not born in comfort. It doesn't show up when everything is easy. Greatness reveals itself when the odds are stacked against you and you keep showing up anyway. Never give up, because the dream you're carrying, it's not just for you. Somebody out there is waiting for what you've got. Somebody's future depends on you not quitting today. You don't know whose life you're going to change by refusing to let go of your own. You may not have the money, you may not have the degree, you may not have the connections, but if you've got the heart, if you've got the hunger, you've got enough to start. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the smartest. But you do have to be consistent. You do have to be persistent. You do have to keep knocking, even when no one answers. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you chase with all your soul if you knew the universe had your back? That's what you were born to do. That's your calling, and every setback, every rejection, every heartbreak, it's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to dig deeper. There were days I wanted to give up, days I cried, days I was broken and barely breathing, but I said to myself, Les, don't you stop, don't you quit, you were made for more than this. And so are you. The dream is worth the struggle, the goal is worth the grind, and the vision is worth every ounce of pain it takes to see it come to life. So when life knocks you down, and it will, I want you to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And if you can get up, you can keep going. And if you keep going, you will grow through what you go through. When I say adversity is a setup for a comeback, I'm not giving you a feel-good phrase. I'm giving you a life principle. I'm telling you something that I've lived, something that will change your life if you understand it deeply. Because here's the truth. Adversity is not your enemy. It's not the thing that stops you. It's the thing that shapes you. It is the resistance that builds your resilience, and without it, you'll never know what you're really made of. Most people see adversity as a curse, as something unfair, something to be avoided. But those who grow, those who succeed, they see it differently. They understand that adversity doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. Think about a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it has to be buried. It has to be pushed down into darkness. It has to endure pressure, and then, and only then, does it break through the ground and reach toward the light. That's what adversity is, the darkness before the breakthrough. Now I know what it feels like to be in that darkness. I know what it's like to feel like everything is working against you. Maybe you've been told you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy. Maybe you've been fired, abandoned, or knocked down so many times you've started to believe the world has it out for you. But I came here today to tell you, don't believe that lie. The adversity you're facing right now, that storm you're in, is not a sign that you're finished. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something greater. You see, diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is refined by fire. Steel is strengthened in the furnace. And you, yes, you are being refined through your trials. You are being forged into someone who can handle the weight of your calling, because success is not about comfort, it's about capacity, and adversity increases your capacity to lead, to inspire, to endure, to create, and to win. And let me be clear, this is not just about surviving. This is about learning how to extract the lesson from the loss, because when you study successful people, when you look at the greats, from inventors to entrepreneurs, from athletes to artists, what you'll find is a pattern. Every single one of them has a backstory of struggle, a season of failure, a moment of rejection so painful they almost quit. But they didn't. They used their adversity. They turned their pain into power. They turned their wounds into wisdom, and they came back stronger than ever before. So I want you to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? What skill is this adversity forcing me to develop? What muscle is this pain trying to grow in me? What character is being shaped in me right now, so that when I get to my next level, I can stay there? Because the truth is, life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're prepared to handle, and adversity is God's way. Life's way of getting you ready, preparing you for something you prayed for but weren't yet strong enough to carry. So the next time you find yourself in a valley, the next time the mountain looks too high, the next time you're tempted to throw in the towel, I want you to remember that you're not being buried, you're being planted. And if you stay faithful, if you stay focused, if you keep pushing through the pain, the comeback is already in motion. You're not finished. You're being formed, and your greatest testimony is on the other side of this test. Keep walking, keep fighting, and know this: adversity is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your greatness. Let me tell you something powerful, something transformational. You've got to refuse to be denied. I mean that with every fiber of my being. Life is going to slam doors in your face. People are going to tell you no. They'll say you don't belong, that you're not qualified, that you're too late, too old, too young, too much of this or not enough of that. And you know what? That's fine. Let them talk, but you must not accept it. You've got to dig deep, stand tall, and tell yourself, I will not be denied my destiny. See, success is not given, it is earned. It's claimed by those who have made up their mind to keep going when others would quit. And let me tell you, there's a difference between people who wish and people who will. People who wish for something, they'll try once, maybe twice, and when the results don't show up immediately, they give up. But people who have the will, they don't take no for an answer. They get told no 1,000 times and still come back with the same fire in their belly, because they know every rejection, every delay, every failure is just part of the process. Let me teach you something. Life will test you. Life will push you to the edge and ask, how bad do you want it? It will watch to see if you really mean what you say, if you really believe in the dream you say you're chasing. You've got to prove yourself, not to the world, but to you. Because the moment you decide, truly decide, that quitting is not an option, that's the moment your breakthrough starts moving toward you. This principle applies to every area of life: education, career, relationships, health, business. Maybe you want to start something, maybe you've already started and it's harder than you expected. You're facing setbacks, delays, and doubts, but let me ask you, do you still want it? Because if you do, you've got to learn how to persist beyond resistance. You've got to develop an attitude of relentless pursuit. That's how winners think. When the world says stop, you say go harder. When your bank account says empty, you say keep building. When the results don't show up, you say keep showing up anyway. You don't stop because of circumstances. You don't slow down because of fear. You get stronger, you get bolder, you get more focused. That's how you win. People told me I wasn't good enough to be a speaker. They laughed at me, doubted me, rejected me, but I made a decision. I refused to be denied. I refused to let their opinion become my reality. I refused to settle for anything less than what I knew was possible for my life. I knocked on doors that wouldn't open, and when they didn't open, I built my own door. I kept speaking even when the crowd was small. I kept writing even when nobody was reading. And eventually, because I stayed in the game long enough, the game changed. You've got to have that same fire, that same mindset. If the door closes, try the window. If the window is locked, break down the wall. But whatever you do, don't turn back. Don't lower your standards to fit your circumstances. Don't let fear talk you out of your future. You've got something special inside of you, something powerful, and it's your responsibility to protect it, to nurture it, to fight for it. So make a choice today. I will not give up. I will not give in. I will not be denied the life that I know I was meant to live, because I deserve it, because I'm worth it, and because I have the power to make it happen. Your dream is possible. I need you to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Your dream is possible. It doesn't matter how far-fetched it seems right now. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money, the support, the credentials, or even the roadmap. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. But you've got to believe it before anybody else will. You've got to nurture it, protect it, and speak life into it, especially when no one else does. See, the challenge most people face is not lack of opportunity. It's not even a lack of talent. The real problem is that too many people stop believing. Somewhere along the way, they lose faith in themselves. They let life convince them that the dream is too big, that it's unrealistic, that they missed their shot. But let me tell you something. As long as you're still breathing, as long as you still have a desire in your heart, your dream is still alive. It's still possible. Don't let people talk you out of it. Don't let statistics and circumstances shrink your vision. Because the truth is, every dream that's ever come true started with someone who was willing to look foolish before they looked brilliant. Someone who said, I don't care how it looks right now. I know what I see on the inside of me. The Wright brothers had a dream to fly. People laughed. Experts told them it was impossible, but they kept building, kept believing, and one day they got that thing off the ground. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Now she's one of the most powerful voices in the world. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination. These people weren't lucky. They were locked in. They knew their dream was possible. And they refused to settle for less. So let me ask you, what do you see when you close your eyes? What vision wakes you up in the middle of the night? What idea keeps tugging at your soul? That thing right there, that's your calling. That's your assignment, and it's not random. It's not by chance. That dream was placed in your spirit for a reason, and your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen. Your job is to believe that it can happen and start moving toward it with everything you've got. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You're going to face rejection. You're going to run into delays and disappointments. But that doesn't mean your dream is dead. It just means your faith is being tested. It means life is asking you, do you really want this, or is it just a fantasy? And if you can answer with action, if you can keep going when it's hard, when it's slow, when nobody is cheering you on, then life will respond. You've got to move with intention. You've got to study, grow, stretch, invest in yourself. Surround yourself with people who fuel your fire, not those who try to put it out. And most of all, you've got to talk to yourself like your dream depends on it. Speak life over your vision. Say it every day. It's possible. It's possible for me. I can do this. Because the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe. And if you believe your dream is possible, if you treat it like it's real, if you fight for it like it already belongs to you, then it will begin to manifest. Doors will open. People will show up. Resources will appear. Not by magic, but by the power of faith, effort, and alignment. So don't give up on your dream. Feed it, water it, fight for it, because it's not just a dream, it's your future, and it is absolutely, undeniably possible. Fall forward, that's what I'm asking you to do when life knocks you down, and believe me, it will. I don't want you falling back. I want you to fall forward, because if you fall forward, at least you're still moving in the direction of your dream. At least you're learning, growing, and gaining ground. You see, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. And the people who accomplish great things in life aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who use it. Every time you fail, you're collecting wisdom. You're discovering what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. You're building a thicker skin, a sharper mind, and a stronger heart. You're learning how to get back up faster and smarter. But if you fall back, if you allow failure to push you into fear and regret, you stay stuck, you stop trying, you give up your power, and that's when the dream dies. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you let failure scare you more than it could teach you. Let me share something with you. The most successful people you admire today, whether in business, sports, entertainment, or science, failed more times than you know. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. But he didn't stay there. He got up, trained harder, and used that failure as fuel. Now he's one of the greatest athletes of all time. Thomas Edison made 0 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. When a reporter asked him how it felt to fail that many times, Edison said, "I didn't fail 0 times. The light bulb was an invention with 0 steps." That's what falling forward looks like. It's about reframing failure. It's about changing your mindset from "I failed" to "I learned," from "I'm not good enough" to "I'm getting better every day." You've got to stop letting mistakes define you and start letting them refine you. And I know it's hard, I know it hurts, when you've poured your heart into something, your time, your energy, your money, and it falls apart. That pain is real, but so is the lesson, so is the strength, so is the growth. Don't waste your failure by running from it. Face it, embrace it, and fall forward through it. See, there's power in persistence, there's glory in grit. And when you fall forward, you teach yourself that setbacks don't stop you. They shape you. You create a rhythm of resilience. You teach your mind and body that no matter what happens, I keep going. That's the mindset of champions. That's the attitude of people who leave a legacy. So the next time you fall, and you will, I want you to do 3 things. First, breathe. Don't panic. Don't drown in self-doubt. Second, reflect. What did I learn? What can I do differently? And third, move. Take the next step. Even if it's small, even if it's shaky, take it anyway. Because forward is forward. And let me say this to you clearly. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not your lowest moment. You are a work in progress. You are a warrior in training. You are a champion being molded by the fire of failure. And that fire is forging a future you can't even imagine yet. So when life trips you up, don't shrink back, don't surrender, fall forward. Use the fall to push off the ground and rise stronger. Because every stumble is a setup for a sprint, every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every fall is just another step toward the finish line. If you keep moving forward, persistence breaks resistance. That's the truth, that's the law. If you keep showing up, keep knocking, keep pushing, eventually that wall in front of you has to give. It can't hold forever. But most people don't realize how close they are when they give up. They quit not because they were defeated, but because they got tired, because they didn't see results fast enough, because resistance told them you're not good enough, and they believed it. But I came here to tell you that the resistance in your life is not there to stop you. It's there to shape you. Resistance is part of the process. You want to build muscle, you've got to lift weights. You want to become mentally tough, you've got to endure pressure. You want to rise in life, then get ready for the climb. Nothing worth having comes without struggle. That's the price. That's the toll at the gate of greatness. And only persistence can pay it. People look at someone who made it and say, they're lucky. No, they're persistent. They kept moving when nothing was moving. They kept building when no one believed. They kept showing up when the world told them to stay down. That's what separates those who make history from those who watch it happen. You can't let resistance make the final decision in your life. You have to outlast it. You have to be so determined, so disciplined that resistance finally says, all right, I give up, you win. When I started speaking, I wasn't polished, I wasn't trained, I didn't sound like the experts. But I had heart, I had passion, and I had persistence. I kept speaking in empty rooms. I kept practicing when no one was listening. I kept getting back up when the doors closed in my face. And slowly those doors started opening. Not because I was the best, not because I had a name, but because I refused to quit. You've got to understand that persistence is a mindset, it's a habit, it's a muscle. And every day you show up, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when the world says no, you're strengthening that muscle. You're preparing yourself for the moment when everything finally clicks. But if you give up, you never see that moment. You miss the reward, and worse, you teach yourself that it's okay to quit when things get hard. Don't do that. Don't rob yourself of your breakthrough. I'm telling you, the resistance you're feeling right now, that delay, that pushback, that mountain in your way is a test. Life is asking you, how bad do you want it? Are you serious or just curious? Because resistance only breaks for those who refuse to back down. It only surrenders to those who keep showing up, day in, day out, rain or shine, weak or strong. There are going to be days you don't feel like it, days you want to stay in bed, days when the doubt is louder than the dream. That's when persistence has to kick in. That's when you have to do it anyway, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. That's when champions are made. So I want you to decide, right now, that you will not give up. You will not let resistance win. You will not let your fear be stronger than your faith. I want you to make a promise to yourself. I may bend, but I will not break. I may slow down, but I will not stop. I will persist until resistance has no choice but to move. Because when you do that, when you truly commit, life has no choice but to open up for you. The doors will open, the people will show up, the opportunities will come, but only for those who stay in the game long enough to win. So whatever you're facing right now, don't you dare give up. Stay with it, push through, keep going, because persistence always breaks resistance.